Good, happy Saturday morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. We're here up in Maine, in Cape Elizabeth, Maine, and I'm doing the news in Cape Elizabeth, Maine. Hopefully, you all enjoy my newscast this morning. Um, we're not in our studio, so we're at a different location doing the news. Um, So hopefully you enjoy this newscast. Let's get started. First up, Pittsburgh snowmobile trails open this weekend. Snowmobile trails are opening early this year. The state set December 15 as opening date for trails, but some snowmobile trails in Pittsburgh are open for riding this weekend. Small snowstorms and cold air in the state's northern country have allowed for the trails to open early. The New Hampshire Division of Parks Bureau of Trails announced this week that things were off to an early start. New Hampshire has more than 7,000 miles of snowmobile trails. The Bureau and Pittsburgh Ridge Runners plan to have trails north and east of Pittsburgh Village available for riding with early season conditions. Riders should be aware that trails are not yet groomed and should expect water bars and some flowing water. Lakes and ponds are not safe to ride on. Riders will need to trail to Malagoway Road / Coon Brook and East Itland or Deer Mountain Campground. There is no connection to other trails outside of Pittsburgh and no connection to services. Pittsburgh Trails recently received national recognition as one of the top 15 snowmobile destinations in the country. Hanover police warn residents about utility company scam. The Hanover Police Department is warning residents about a scam. People posing as representatives from Liberty Utilities and other utility companies have been calling residents and demanding payment on overdue accounts, police said. The caller threatens to disconnect the resident's electricity unless the outstanding balance is paid, officials said. The caller then tells residents to purchase a gift card from a local grocery and supply information from the card to the individual caller. Police said that the phone calls have mainly been coming from 801 732 7470, but other numbers could be utilized as well. A senior representative from Liberty Utilities confirmed to police that the company has a specific procedure in place for collecting payment and that immediate power deactivations is not part of that. Police advise any residents who are unsure if a caller is actually a representative from their utility company to call their provider's main phone number to find out. Auburn police hoping to locate a man for questioning in early morning shooting. Let's take a listen to the video.
Police looking for a suspect after an overnight shooting that sent 2 people to the hospital. Investigators say it happened around 2:30 in the morning on Bowden Street. A man walked into a party and opened fire. The victims are identified as Michael Williams of Lewiston and Justin Bottlehoe of Cranston, Rhode Island. No word yet on a motive, but investigators say it was not a random act.
And there you go on that report. Trump team asking for Energy Department staff who worked on climate change, document shows. President-elect Donald Trump's transition team appears to be compiling a roster of names of Energy Department staff members, including career civilian servants who worked on plans to cut carbon emissions, according to a questionnaire obtained by ABC News. Snow and ice for many parts of U.S. this weekend. Let's take a listen to this video from CNN.
I remember August, people saying, "Oh, it's so hot, it's so hot."
Right.
I said, it's coming.
Yeah, give it a
I didn't know how cold it would get, but we're getting it today.
Well, it's actually going to get colder next week, and I'll show you that in a second. But let me show you some of the current temperature readings now. Remember, we've got snow on the ground, clear skies, polar air in place, -11 in Casper right now. Remember, yesterday morning you were at -30, so a little bit warmer. But here come the 20s and the 30s all the way up to Virginia Beach. There are freeze warnings areas, northern Florida, southern Georgia. What happens from here? Well, let me show you, because we've got some Arctic air that's really going to start pulling in. Here's the way it looks globally. I'm going to pull that up for you right here. You can see the way it goes. We've got the polar air in place right now. Yeah, that's cold. The heart of the North Pole air, the Arctic stuff, begins to break away and unleashes the fury coming in by next week. So this is the way it looks middle part of next week. You thought it was cold today. It's going to be even colder by next Wednesday into Thursday for the northern half of the nation.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Now let's take a look at some events happening today in New Hampshire. In holiday cookie tour at 11 o'clock a.m. in North Conway. Holly Joy Craft Fair at 9 o'clock a.m. in Nashua. The 11th annual Carrier and Ivis Cookie Tour at 11 o'clock a.m. in Troy. Santa Express trains at the Hobo Railroad in Lincoln, New Hampshire at 1 p.m. in Lincoln. Journey to the North Pole at the Hobo Railroad in Lincoln, New Hampshire at 4:30 p.m. in Lincoln, New Hampshire. Christmas with the Celts at 7:30 p.m. in Plymouth. Jingle Ball Chocolate Tour at 11 p.m. in Jackson. Holiday Magic Victoria Trolley Tour at 1 p.m. in Portsmouth. Giving Tree at Omni Mount Washington at 12 a.m. in Bretton Woods. Boston Pops Holiday Concert at 7:30 p.m. in Manchester at the SNHU Arena. The Nutcracker at 7 p.m. in Wolfboro. Candlelight Stroll at Strawberry Bank Museum at 5 p.m. in Portsmouth. Bellgrass Christmas Concert at 7:30 p.m. in Bretton Wood. Santa's Big Party at 10 o'clock a.m. in Candia. Light Winter Wonderland at 5 p.m. in Candia. Discover New Hampshire at 9:30 a.m. in Concord. Free New Hampshire Saturday at the Courier at 12 o'clock a.m. in Manchester. Creative Studio Wood Ornaments at 10 o'clock a.m. in Manchester. Guided Gallery Tours at 2 p.m. in Concord. Gift of Lights at 4:30 p.m. in Loudon. Auburn Village School Holiday/Craft Fair at 8 o'clock a.m. in Auburn. Wolfboro Festival of Trees at 10 o'clock a.m. in Wolfboro. And those are events happening today in New Hampshire. If you want to read more about each event, just go to visitnewhampshire.gov, then click on what to do, and then click on the event calendar. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast. I hope you all have a great day and see you back here later on. Goodbye, everyone.